Welcome to The Common Fan, your go-to podcast for SEC smack talk, top 25 game day predictions, and fan-first football takes in college or the NFL. Here is your host, Bryce Tillman. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's talk ball.
What's up, everybody? It's another episode of The Common Fan. I'm your host, Bryce Tillman. Thank you so much for making us a listen every single day. Joining me, as always, is Cameron Williams, and our buddy Kyle will be on with us in just a few minutes, and we're going to be talking about college football in week 3. Is this week 3, Cameron? Yeah, it's week 3.
Week 3.
So
week 3.
We got a lot of big matchups this week. I'm excited. Cameron, what are your initial thoughts before we get into the ad read and get started on the show?
I think that the schedulers this year have done a great job. You know, usually first few games you have maybe one or two good games here and there, but it's always kind of just bland. And it has been a packed show in every weekend. And I don't know if it's going to stop. There's some good ball games coming up this weekend. Yes,
they are, and we're going to dive right into it. And before we get started, we got to do a quick shout-out to sharp42.ag. This episode of the Common Fan Podcast is brought to you by sharp42.ag, proudly sponsored by Joe Allen. If you're ready to take your college football Saturdays and NFL Sundays to the next level, sharp42.ag has you covered. With sharp betting lines, expert analysis, and the fastest payouts in the game, sharp42.ag makes sure you never miss out on your chance to win big. Thanks to Joe Allen for making this possible and supporting fans like us who live and breathe football. So don't just watch the games. Get in on the action. Visit sharp42.ag today. Bet smarter with the best. If you're interested in joining sharp42.ag, comment below or inbox any of the guys on the show with us, and we'll get you hooked up today. Cameron, I think on today's show, we have to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. Georgia coming to Tennessee Saturday at 2:30. And this is the most anticipated game of the weekend, with College Game Day being there.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I know what everybody's thinking. I know who they're going to go with, but we'll see what my picks are.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about a few little stats, some key points to check out in this game, and then we'll give our predictions after that. And we're going to do that on every show every game that we'll talk about tonight. So I'm going to read off this that ESPN put out, Cameron, and I just want you to kind of follow in with it once I get done reading it. It says, Kirby Smart knows playing Tennessee matters to Georgia fans living close to the Volunteer State, even as the Bulldogs essentially have neutered the rivalry itself on the field. Georgia has outscored Tennessee on an average by 80 points, and the highest percentage on average that Tennessee has scored is 17 points. Georgia's rid off 8 straight wins over the Vols for its longest streak in a rivalry that started in 1899. There have been a lot of big games played between Tennessee and Georgia, Smart said, so there's not a lot more I can say on that. All of those border wars are big-time rivalries. Number 15, Tennessee, is at 2-0 right now, scored a program record of 72 points in a rout over East Tennessee State at Neyland Stadium. The Vols have won 9 straight and are 21-1 since the start of the 2022 season. The one loss was Georgia. Cameron, when you're talking about this game, you're talking about 2 fairly new quarterbacks in the SEC, right? You got Gunnar Stockton, you got Joey Aguilar. Now, I know Gunnar Stockton's been in it longer, and Joey Aguilar's had, starts this year. How do you feel about this matchup? Give me some key points that the fans need to tune in on this game.
So, the offensive game. So, right now, yards per game, Tennessee is in second in the nation with 605 yards on average. Georgia comes in at 36th with 454. Their passing game comes in at 7th for Tennessee with 352. Georgia's is 240, and they're 52nd. The rushing yards is not as strong as the others for Tennessee. They're in 20th, though, in the nation. And then Georgia is still in 34th with 214 yards. So I know they have been playing a lot of top caliber competition, but right now the offense for Tennessee is jiving. But you go to the other side of the ball, the defense. And Georgia is 7th in the nation with defensive total yardage, and then allowing 134 yards a game for Georgia. That comes in at 34th. So their defense is a lot more stable in all areas than Tennessee. But that offensive game for Tennessee it's strong right now. So it's going to be a matchup.
Yeah, and the teams talent-wise are eerily similar, honestly. Like you just said, look, we're talking about Gunnar Stockton, 417 passing yards, Aguilar 535, Nate Frazier 116 rushing yards, Star Thomas 161, Zachariah Branch 112 yards, Brazil at 187, C.J. Allen with 1 sack, Josephs with 2 sacks. Wilson on Georgia at 14 tackles, Carter on Tennessee at 13. So they're really eerily similar here. ESPN has the power index at Tennessee at 51.5%, with Georgia at 48.5%. The line to this game opened up at Georgia -6.5. Cameron, as of the time of us recording this, it has moved to -4.5 for the Bulldogs. Look, Tennessee is not going to be threatened by Georgia, especially not playing at Neyland Stadium. Kirby Smart knows how serious this game is, and I think that Heupel also does. I'm curious to see, and I listened to this on a show today, I'm curious to see how Stockton reacts to playing a true road game against an SEC opponent, because he's not done that yet.
No, and like you said, Neyland's a tough place to go. And right now, Tennessee has momentum. And like you said, their latest loss was to Georgia. So I think this is going to be kind of a get-back game. I think they're here to prove a point. They're going to show the fans and Neyland what they're about this year. And I think Tennessee's ready. I don't think that Georgia is intimidating them at all.
Yeah, the number one thing I know about Gunnar Stockton in 2 games is that he's not going to turn the ball over. He will take a sack. He will take a negative yard play. He will tuck it and run it for a 2-yard gain, or he will hand it off. But he's not going to turn it over. He's not going – like, I've noticed that about him. He's real conservative with the football. And in a game like this, I wonder if that's always the best. Obviously, you don't want to turn the ball over, right? But I wonder if that's the best strategy going into a high-powered offense like Tennessee. Now, you can make the argument for Georgia that their defense is so elite that they'll be able to cover that and equalize that out. And you could quite possibly be right. But when I look at Gunnar Stockton, when he snaps the ball, he has one read, and he's looking at him right then. And if he's not there, Gunnar's either going to tuck it and keep it, or Gunnar's going to throw the ball away. And I don't know if that will work this Saturday in order for Georgia to win this game. Cameron, my prediction on this game is that I think that Georgia will shut, for the most part, Star Thomas and the offense down on running the football. You don't run the football on Georgia. I don't know many teams that have. We actually looked this stat up today, me and a good buddy of mine that's a big Georgia fan. We looked this stat up today, and since Kirby Smart has been there, well, not since he's been there, we'll say, I think we looked it up back to 2020. The team that has rushed for the most yards was Georgia Tech in 8 overtimes. The game before that was UMass, when a lot of the starters went in. They ended up giving, like towards the end of the game, they gave up 226 rushing yards. So I don't think running the football is going to be an issue that Georgia will have to deal with. But I also know that Joey Aguilar has shown signs of where he'll drop back and throw the football, and he's not scared to do it. Now, he hasn't had any turnovers yet, but this Georgia defense is something serious. I think that Georgia will shut Tennessee's run game down, and will force Joey to throw it, and it'll be left up to Joey to decide what happens after that. But I also think that Gunnar Stockton is going to be too conservative. He's going to come out and he's going to get rattled in a hostile, loud Neyland Stadium. And I think Gunnar Stockton it's inevitable, I think, this Saturday for him to make some mistakes.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's been hit in the mouth yet, but I think Gunnar Stockton's got some wheels too on him. So I think that he's a playmaker. I think he can be a playmaker when he gets down to critical situations. But Aguilar, he really hasn't showed me a lot of run talent, but he hasn't had to either. And like you said, he's not scared to throw it. He's not scared to throw the ball downfield. So,
hey, there's Kyle. Let's get him in here. He's loading up. Go ahead. What you say?
But yeah, I like I said, I just think that Georgia's defense is going to match up well with Tennessee's offense.
Yeah.
So, but Tennessee's defense isn't bad either. They're not terrible. So
yeah, what's up, Kyle?
What up?
Hey, so right now we'll just give you a little quick rundown of what he's talking about. We're talking about Georgia versus Tennessee, right? We're talking about how Gunnar Stockton's been a little conservative with the football. Joey Aguilar's had a tendency to kind of toss it up a little bit more than him. Yeah. But Gunnar nor Joey have turned the ball over this year. But we're talking about, with Tennessee's rushing attack, about how Georgia's defense typically doesn't allow big-time rushers. Like, you just don't really run the ball on Georgia. So we're talking about how are they going to be able to use the home field advantage and the crowd to rattle Stockton and let Tennessee find their groove on offense if Georgia takes the rushing attack away?
Yeah. Well, I think they have to rattle Stockton. Stockton is solid, right? He's a good game manager. Clearly, they're 2-0, right? He's not turned the ball over. He's got decent stats, but Rocky Top has to rattle Gunnar Stockton. If they get him rattled, that's going to be their key. Aguilar, the same way, just like you said, he's playing well, no turnovers. But yeah, they're not running on Georgia. If they run on Georgia, they're the real deal. I've had it all week where my gut feeling's just like, man, I think this is the year Tennessee's going to get them, but then it comes back to it, and it's like, it's Georgia, dude. Georgia's too good on defense. They're stacked. But Rocky Top, if they're rocking and Gunnar Stockton's shell-shocked, it's going to be a long game.
Yeah, and Cameron, to your point, you was talking about how Neyland and the crowd factor, I mean, we were both talking about it, how that could affect Gunnar. I'm curious to see, we've elaborated on it. I want to know what your prediction is on this game. Then we'll go to Kyle, and then I'll finish the last prediction on this. Give me a score prediction for this game. Who do you think is going to win, Cameron?
So I'm gonna start it off with an upset here. I think Tennessee's gonna get it done.
Okay.
I think Tennessee's gonna get it done. It's gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be a crazy score. Defensive game. It's gonna be like a 24-21 Tennessee.
Okay. Well, I mean, that would be the first time that Tennessee's beaten Kirby since his first year, right? Or was it 2016?
Kirby's won the last 6, I think.
Yeah, been pretty consecutive.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's the last time that Tennessee upset Georgia was one. It was in early part of Kirby's tenure. Kyle, what is your prediction on this game?
It's hard to say. I don't know just a lot about Tennessee. Kind of looking at some recent games, right? Even on into last year a little bit. The only high scoring games they really had are against the teams that that they should be doing it against, right? They play Vanderbilt, and it's a 36-23 game last year. Syracuse.
That was with Nico. That was with Nico.
Yeah, that was with Nico. That is true. But even Georgia, right? Texas 22-19 overtime. Georgia Tech 44-42 is real tight. Notre Dame 23-10. I mean, again, defensive game. I think Tennessee covers the 6.5. I just got that gut feeling. I think Georgia's going to come out. I think Georgia's going to win. Give me a little bit higher scoring than 24. Give me Georgia 31, Tennessee 24. 7.
Yeah,
28.
if Georgia
Much.
if Georgia scores 31, then they're winning this football game. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see a ram of Georgia. I don't see a ram of Tennessee scoring more than 30 points this game. But I also see a possibility of Gunner choking up and not being able to get Georgia to that 30-point game as well.
Yeah.
Now,
agreed.
They have some studs in the backfield. Nate Frazier, Cash Jones. You know, they've got people there. They've got Zachariah Branch on the outside. They went over to Texas A&M and was able to snag Noah Thomas in the transfer portal. Watch out for him. He's big. He's physical. He is a playmaker. I have Georgia winning this game, but I also have Georgia covering the spread. I have Georgia's going to win by a touchdown. I have Georgia beating Tennessee 34-24.
That's a new. I mean, I think Georgia wins. I don't hate that prediction at all. I mean, I can see it. I don't know.
I'll say this. I just think Georgia's defense is just too. They're man. This is a tough. I've not seen a Georgia defense this stout since that 21-22 era of Kirby Smart. These guys are for real, and I know that people can say, "Well, look who they played. Look what they didn't let Marshall get a first down into the fourth quarter. Marshall did not get a first down on Georgia to the fourth quarter of that ball game. These guys are physical. They're young. They're explosive. They're hungry. I really think, honestly, y'all, that it'll be a 34-17 until late in the fourth quarter, and Tennessee will score late to make it 34-24. Look, Tennessee, and I know we got some Tennessee fans that watch it. They've messaged me before. You've got to show me. Show me that you can go out and do this, right? And when we hear people talk about my team with this all the time, right? Show me that y'all can do it. Y'all not show me you can beat Georgia, whether it be home or away. Show me you can, and I'll eat crow on it. But right now, I've got Georgia winning that game, and I've got them covering the spread on that game.
I will say this, going back and looking at some of these stats, Austin Peay and Marshall both threw for over 100. I know it's not a lot, but they threw for over 130 yards on their defense, right? So, I mean, it's not a lot, but at the same time, we're talking about teams that should be cakewalks. You know, does that come in the fourth quarter? I don't know.
No, Austin Peay was a pretty
tight game.
It was a pretty tight game the whole time. I was just saying Austin Peay was pretty tight.
I can speak for the Marshall game. I know for a fact that a lot of their passing yards come in that fourth quarter. That boy, he chucked around and threw that long shot down there to the end zone, and he called it. It was a pretty explosive play. So that's where a lot of that 100-yard game come from there at the end. But this is also a Marshall team that went lost to a nobody last week. So take that for what it's worth. But anyway, moving on. This next game, guys, is going to be a very, very interesting one. And I think we will all have some unique takes to this game. Clemson going to Georgia Tech at 11 a.m. kickoff. And I cannot think of a better time for Georgia Tech and Brent Key to show us showing and make a statement than playing a Clemson team who did not look very good last week against Troy, rallying back in the third and fourth quarter to win that game, but was down 16-0 at halftime. I'm curious to see how y'all feel about this game because we kind of know what Georgia Tech's going to do, right? They're going to line up and they're going to try to run the football, and they're going to make you stop them from running the football and make you stop them from using Haynes King to run the football and make them explosive plays like they do. What do y'all think, Clemson? Who do y'all think is in the better advantage here at this game?
Clemson. I watched Georgia Tech play last week against Colorado. I think who they played, Colorado?
That was first week, I thought.
That's first. This week one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they played Gardner Webb. Well, the first week against Colorado, that I know it was the first game, but that was not pretty for Colorado to be on their third quarterback now, and they hadn't figured it out. It wasn't a pretty game, and I wasn't impressed. I always like Haynes King, but I wasn't impressed with that defense.
Did he get hurt? Did he get hurt? Because there's a different quarterback on ESPN.
Well, he was limping around last week. They said he didn't start playing until he started limping. That was just natural Haynes King. So
Philo, something
When
Philo.
Haynes King starts limping, he's about to go off.
yeah, it's game time. Yeah.
Anytime. I think Clemson is definitely the better advantage team, right? You look at the roster, Cade Klubnik, he hasn't just been balling like everybody thought, but he is a little bit more, I like him better as
They
an
have a better
overall.
roster.
Yeah, they have a better roster. I like Cade as a better overall quarterback than Haynes King. I think Haynes King's just got that dog in him. But
Cade
Georgia
Klubnik.
Tech's due, dude. Georgia Tech is due for an upset. They played Georgia hard. They did beat Florida State last year, but Florida State ended up being 2-10. I mean, they're due. So I think Clemson pulls this one off. They got to have a comeback game. They got to. Here's a fun stat though. 2018, when Clemson won the national championship, they played Troy that year. Their stats for the game, quarter by quarter by quarter, are almost identical.
Really?
Almost. Yes. Like score of the game, stats per players, like almost identical. I was watching a video on it, and I went back and started looking. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Struggled with Troy in 2018. So
let me tell you this. ESPN Analytics have Georgia Tech on the power index at 55.9% over Clemson, standing at 44.1%. Clemson, the line to this game opened up at -6.5. According to the ESPN bet book, it's at -3.5 now. So people are buying into the Georgia Tech upset here. Look, Cade Klubnik's good. Cade Klubnik's good. I mean, Haynes King's good, but is he not going to play? I don't understand what's going on right there. I guess I just completely missed this storyline. Clemson's defense is physical, and I think that you don't just necessarily just line up and run the football down their throat. I like Clemson in this game, and if the line's going to be at 3.5 points, I feel pretty confident in taking Clemson -3.5 in this. I like that game. I think that it will be a little bit lower scoring, possibly a 24-17 game. I like that because I don't think that Clemson will just let Georgia Tech run the scoreboard up on them, and I don't think Georgia Tech's defense is that they're capable of really just completely shutting down Clemson's offense, but I think they can make a few plays. If it was me in this game, if I was going to bet on it, I would either take Clemson -3.5 or either pick the under in this game, which is at 51.5.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw my 2 cents in on it. I think that the roster's better. Apparently, it looks like Haynes King's been having some injury problems, so I'm going to go with Clemson here, but I'm going to say they score. I'm going to say they score like 42-28-ish.
Whoa!
I was gonna say, look for a 40 score game. I think it's almost, if Haynes King's playing, I think it's almost like a Georgia Tech rematch, almost. Maybe not quite as thrilling. I don't think there's 4 overtimes, but I do think there's some points scored. I do think there's some points scored. I got Clemson taking this one.
Hang on just a second. I want to see from Georgia Tech last year and their schedule. I want to know who scored the most points on them aside from Georgia and all the overtimes, right? They held Miami to 23 points last year. Notre Dame did score 31 on them. Duke only 14. I'm trying to find some relevant games here. There's a lot of garbage right there. All right, UCF only scored 17. Syracuse only scored 22. Virginia only scored 17. I get the concept of that all them teams are probably not as good as Clemson. I just have a hard time seeing Clemson score 40-something points on them. I might completely wrong here. Y'all are two on the same page here. I might be the one off, but I like Georgia Tech. They're physical, man, and so is Clemson. So,
well, I'll tell you what the over-under is, 51.5.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I chose. Yeah. I would say with the under. That's what I was saying. But y'all are obviously with y'all's predictions. Y'all were saying the over. So, I mean, I don't know, guys. Don't. We're gonna pull a wash on this one. Don't listen to this game.
Let's table this one.
We do all have Clemson winning and covering those. So if y'all want to put that on y'all's parlay, go ahead with that.
I just see Cade Klubnik coming out and trying to light the world on fire because of all the naysayers. That's where I'm at on it.
Hey, I'm with it. I like it. If that's the case, then I will still feel really good with my stance. I feel really good with my stance still saying Clemson will make it to that natty. So let's see here. Who we got next we want to talk about? Let's talk about Ole Miss and Arkansas, boys. Give me a take on that one.
Oh, you don't want my take. Upset number 2.
All right. We're going to hold camera.
I don't have my stepmama saying if they lose because of your take, I'm gonna be sending Ole Miss stuff for your daughter. I said send it on because they losing.
Y'all both got Ole Miss losing. Wow.
Yes, sir. Taylor Green. Austin Simmons is hurt. He's listed as probable right now. Yes, sir.
Wow. Hey,
if Austin Simmons playing is going to be the deciding factor there, I like the thought of Arkansas upsetting better than me thinking that Ole Miss is going to come out and beat them by 2 scores.
Dude, Kentucky almost put it on Ole Miss last week with Zach Calzada. So
yeah,
I think Ole Miss is good. I think they took a step back this year, rebuilding their team a little bit. Freshman quarterback, he's banged up. Taylor Green is on fire right now.
You'll see that score?
Oh, yes, sir. 14-24.
24-14, Wake Forest. Let's go, Demon Deeks.
But, yeah, no, I think Taylor Green's good. And I think he's hot. I think Sam Pittman's been on the hot seat, and he's tired of hearing it. He's out to make a showing. And they have dominated every game they've been in so far. So I think he comes into Ole Miss, and he hits lane whiffing where it hurts, and they walk out of there with a W.
But here's the thing about this that was pointed out to me. If you look at their stats, right, quarterback, running back, with the exception of the Lacey running back, he's got 44 carries for 246 yards. That's not the best. Arkansas's running back has 18 carries for 195. Taylor Green, Austin Simmons, almost identical on stats, except Taylor Green's got 10 touchdowns. Where Austin Simmons has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So,
yeah,
I feel like they're evenly matched.
Ole Miss also come out with I can't find it right now, but Ole Miss come out with an injury report today and listed Austin Simmons and Lacey as probable. So they're battling injuries.
If Austin Simmons is out, upset for sure.
Well, I was gonna say, but now there was another guy that made an appearance last week in Kentucky for Ole Miss and run the football really good. Logan Diggs, he had 97 yards last week. Like really, really good. So if you got Kewan Lacey and Logan Diggs back there, how stout is Arkansas's defense to be able to stop that bleeding from that rush attack that Ole Miss can do? And that is in that same sense, that will allow Austin Simmons to kind of, relax, know that he's got somebody else there that can help him. Guys, I'm different from y'all here. I've got Ole Miss winning this game. I don't know if they cover the 6.5 spread.
Yeah.
But I like Ole Miss winning, man. I'm staying away from this game, guys. I'm not betting on it. I'm not touching it. I'm throwing an upside down cross to it. I do not want to mess with it. It's hexed. Look, the over is already moved from 60.5 to 62.5 and still climbing according to this chart right here. That means that it's going to be a high-power game, and Vegas thinks it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know. I'm not touching this game, but I do have Ole Miss winning. Just give me Ole Miss money line if I was going to do anything.
See that third down percentage right here? I don't know if y'all can read that.
Yep.
Third down percentage. They're 4th in the nation. 70% third down. I know they haven't played a lot of people, but they're scoring 54 points a game right now, tied for 5th. Total yards, they are 591, 4th place. Their defense, 35th in total yards. Ole Miss is 60th. Right now, Arkansas is looking better all the way around.
I'll say this. If Austin Simmons
I will say this real quick. Go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, he's lagging. If Austin Simmons is in, it's gonna be tough. I can see Ole Miss winning, but I like the thought of Arkansas upsetting them. And again, I'm with Bryce. So I'm not touching this game.
No, I'm not either.
It's in Oxford too. So
yeah, it's at Vaught Hemingway. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be tough. If Austin Simmons is playing, he's healthy. It's gonna be a dogfight to the end. If he's not, count it down. Arkansas is winning.
Hey, look, just for perspective here, I know we was talking about Arkansas stats. I will point out that they played Alabama A&M week 1 and won 52-7. This is the same Alabama A&M team that Peyton Thorne out of everybody come in and beat 73-0 last year. Just going to throw that out there. All right, Arkansas State 56-14. Arkansas hasn't even played a team half of what Kentucky is. Yeah, they haven't even played a team half of what Kentucky is. Kentucky coming there with a chip on their shoulder from upsetting Ole Miss last year. They thought that they could redo it, and if Calzada had never went down, they probably could have, right? I just think that Lane had a whole week to work on what he's seen in that Kentucky game. I don't know, man. I got Ole Miss winning this game, and I could be wrong. So
what happened to Florida? What happened with Florida last year? Injury bug. Right now, the running backs list is probable to have a wide receiver that's out. Simmons last week sprained his ankle. I'm just saying, there's a lot there for two pretty evenly matched teams.
I'm staying away from it.
Yeah, I'm staying away from it. It's Vaught Hemingway, but I do.
We've got 3 more games that I want to cover, and we'll start with. Let's see, where's it at? All right, let's go. Let's go Florida. Let's go Florida and LSU because I'm curious to see y'all's thoughts on this game. Right? LSU come out looking like the number 1 team in the country against Clemson week 1. I feel like they played great. I feel like especially second half of the game they absolutely dominated both sides of the ball, killed the trenches. I like what Nussmeier was doing week 1. Caleb Durham, the running back, was running the ball good. But last week against Louisiana Tech, they kind of struggled coming out the gate, and then we watched Florida drop last week to USF. You can't really pin that game on DJ Lagway. I would say that's more of a coaching issue when it comes to Florida in that game. Tell me, what do y'all think about this game? And do you think that Florida kind of had a little wake-up call there and is going to bounce back this week and play a lot more competitive? Or do you think LSU is just going to kind of run away with it? So give me y'all's takes on this game.
Billy's trying to save his job. Upset number 3 for the weekend. No, I'm kidding. No,
Billy gets an extension.
Yeah, Billy gets an extension this week. But no, I think it's going to be a lot better game than what people were expecting. But I think that roster for LSU right now, I know they didn't look great last week. They're going to have that. I can guarantee you right now, Brian Kelly has been all over top of them all week about how they performed against La Tech last week. So I am taking LSU on this one. I know Florida is going to try to play hard. They got something to prove. They don't want Billy to be fired this week. So I think they're going to play, but I think LSU still comes out there.
Yeah, I'm going with LSU. Everybody kind of had an off week last week. I think well, not State. Sorry,
I'm kidding.
Not Jackson Arnold either. But I think or Bama. But I think Garrett Nussmeier comes back. I think he has a good game, big first SEC game, kind of solidifies, hey, I am him. No, he's not. But I'm taking LSU. I think LSU puts the smackdown on him.
Yeah, I'm taking LSU.
It's at Death Valley.
I'm taking LSU to cover the spread, and I'm taking them to hit the over on this game. I like LSU in this game 34-14, which would put them over the 46.5 and covering the spread of 7.5. I like LSU in this game. I just think they, at every aspect on the field, they outmatch Florida, and it's at Death Valley, and it's going to be a 6:30 night game. I like LSU, and again, until Florida shows me different, I don't know if I can ride with them. So, next game I want to talk about.
1 second.
Yes, go ahead.
1 second. Does Billy get fired this week?
No.
And I have a take on that. NIL is too
not.
crazy right now. Transfer portal is too crazy right now. I think colleges start to take notice of that, and they're like, we're not going to fire in the middle of the season because it's going to ruin our recruiting, right? I think they get to the end of the season and say, okay, good year. Good riddance. Get out.
Hey, look, I think that you ready for my hot take? I think that Mississippi State will be the reason Billy Napier gets fired. How about that?
I like that.
I think Mississippi State will beat Florida. I think Mississippi State will beat Florida, and that will be the reason Billy Napier gets fired. Let's go. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Gator fans.
I can take that. I can take that. I can be okay with that.
Next game, what you got?
Let's go. Let's go USF versus Miami here, boys. The Bulls have been bullying. They have been bullying, and they have not even left the state of Florida. And they are just dominating. If South Florida upsets Miami, you got to put the South Florida Bulls at the number 1 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to.
Oh, yeah, you do. But it's not going to happen.
It's got to happen. Like, there's no way around it. Look at that.
Hey, girl.
I think that South Florida has put on a great show. I think that South Florida has been fun, entertaining to watch. They're physical. But I think that their train ends at Miami, at the Rock. I think Miami's going to win this game. And I do not think that they're going to cover those. So I'm definitely taking South Florida plus 17.5 over Miami.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a 7-point, 10-point game-ish, maybe at most. But Miami's going to steamroll. They're gonna pump them brakes for USF this week. It's going to be all about the U.
I agree, man.
G-Ray.
What's your name? G-Ray.
Man, I love USF, dude. I love the coach. I love the energy they got every time they play these big name teams. Like, you can tell they don't back down. They're like, horns up. We're about to hit somebody in the mouth.
Oh, they're fourth down. They're fourth down go getters. Yeah.
Dude, they hit, and I love it. They just don't have the depth. Like, even the Florida game, like, it could have easily went the other way where Florida comes out, with a win. But, man, I want to root for him. I want to see him pull this off. Get 3 ranked wins back to back at these people's, home fields, right? When Boise State was at USF. I would love to see Boise State win. I'm with you. I'm with y'all. I don't think they got it in them. I mean, South Florida, yeah. I don't think they have it in them to finish it out. I want to see it. I think they cover 17.5 for sure.
Yeah.
I am definitely taking South Florida plus 17.5 in this game.
Oh, I thought you meant to win.
Let's see.
You know what? Screw it.
No. I think Miami will win, but I'm
South Florida by 50.
All right, last game. The last game that we'll cover is going to be
Alabama,
Texas
Wisconsin.
A&M versus Notre Dame.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Texas A&M versus Notre Dame. It's Texas A&M going to Notre Dame. The odds are at Texas A&M plus 6.5. Notre Dame favored by 6.5 points. What are y'all thinking? Y'all give me y'all's take on this game.
I'm thinking that's going to be an upset. I'm not sold on Notre Dame this year. They didn't look that great their first game. Who'd they play again? Look it up real quick.
They lost. It was
Miami.
They had one game and then they
Miami.
had a bye week. Miami, yeah. They didn't look that great against Miami. So I am definitely taking the Aggies because they have a pretty doggone good run offense. So
not only that, but Marcel Reed's dealing.
Yeah.
He's 41 of 62 and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
509 yards.
And he hasn't been the most accurate. I thought that he looked better last year. He looked more crisp last year.
He run all year.
He needs to find that rhythm. He needs to find that rhythm again, and I think that he can be a big playmaker here. Kyle, who did you have in that game? Who are you going with in this game?
I got to go with A&M. I mean, Notre Dame upset A&M last year, right? They were ranked higher when they played. I believe, if I'm wrong, tell me. But I believe A&M was. I believe A&M. No. I can't remember how that happened. But anyways, I think it is a pretty big game for both teams. I think Notre Dame has to win, because they're 0-1 right now, and they're ranked 8th. A&M's 2-0, ranked 16th. If they win this, A&M's going to have a lot of momentum going into SEC ball, and I don't see Notre Dame winning this because all they have is the run. All they have is Jeremiah Love, and give me A&M taking home the dub. Yeah, taking home the dub.
All right, so
it would be 3 upsets.
Again, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep going against y'all, man. Look, let me just say this: Texas A&M's defense has not looked good this year. Texas A&M's defense has not looked good this year. They've allowed little nobodies to score on them and stay in games that they shouldn't. They're bleeding. They're giving up runs, and you don't give up runs to a Jeremiah Love led Notre Dame or a Price. And CJ Carr, he didn't have the best showing, but he didn't look the worst in the country week 1 going to Miami and playing against them. He had a couple crucial mistakes late in the fourth quarter that cost him. I just think that what I've seen from A&M up to this point, they haven't played anybody, but they haven't been flashy either. Like, they're not showing me that they can go out and beat a team like this yet. And to the same point, I don't think Notre Dame has necessarily shown me that they can. I just know that they can stay in a competition with I would say that Miami's a pretty elite ball team this year. And had it not been for some simple mistakes by Carr late in the fourth quarter, they could have won that game. And Beck and what was the C.J. Daniels kid? Was it C.J. Daniels that caught the catch of the year, Cameron said?
Yeah. Yeah,
look,
LSU transfer.
This Notre Dame team is physical on both sides of the ball. They're really, really physical, and they're a really good ball team. And I have not been able to say the same quite yet about that with Texas A&M. I like Marcel Reed. He's very mobile. He will run the football. He will keep it. But I've also seen him make some pretty careless throws, some inaccurate throws. He's kind of thrown some balls way over heads. I'm taking Notre Dame winning this game, man. I don't know. And this is another game I don't know if they'll win by a touchdown. It might be a field goal. It might be 4 points. I don't know. This is also a game that I'm staying away from. But I do have a gut feeling that Notre Dame's going to win this game. And I don't think that's a shot at A&M. I think A&M still got a very good season ahead of them. But I think that Notre Dame starting out slow, already going 0-1, I don't think they're going to drop 2 in a row back-to-back like that. I like Notre Dame taking the upset, or not really upset because they're favored. I like Notre Dame winning this game.
Let me tell you 2 names you remember from this weekend: Concepcion and Mario Craver.
KC Conception, isn't that it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
NC State
Craver. No, Craver come from Mississippi State last week.
Well, I knew Craver come from State, but Concepcion, he come from North Carolina State.
Craver right now is having 18.2 yards of reception, 13 receptions, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. Concepcion, 9 receptions, 145 yards, 16 yards in average. Bussy, 5 receptions, 60 yards. So I will say, a couple weeks ago, I did see Marcel Reed have a guy downfield wide open for 40 yards, nobody around him, and he overthrew him. But I think he's kind of dialed that back a little bit. I think he's getting a little more confident in his throws, and I'm going to say Craver and Concepcion carry this game.
Well, hey, if they do, then that's good for A&M. I like Notre Dame in that game. It's just a good feeling. So
yeah,
I did say that was it. We got one more game we got to cover real quick before we get off. Vanderbilt and South Carolina.
Let's go. That's who I had. Yep.
Vanderbilt going to South Carolina, 6:45 game. Vanderbilt has to go play South Carolina at William Bryce. And if you think that stadium is not going to be electric, you are wrong. Guys, is Pavia going to pull? Is he going to pull this upset? Do y'all think that Pavia pulls this upset?
I think he can. I think he can. He is 32 of 43. So he's had 11 incompletions on over 40 passes, 5 touchdowns. He has had an interception. So already has better stats than Lenore Sellers. Their run game, 22 carries, 160 yards. South Carolina's running back has 21 carries for 80 yards. I mean, I think they can.
can't.
Pavia's got that dog in him, dude. He's got that clutch factor. You know, he plays everybody hard. He's a short quarterback, but he's got awful form, but he's got a good ball placement, and he's got that dog mentality. I think they can pull it off. I'm not saying they're going to, because going to South Carolina and playing at night is tough.
It's hard.
Yes.
It's hard.
So I don't know.
I was gonna say, there's two sides of this. If we get South Carolina game 1, South Carolina wins. If we get them game 2, last week, dude, I don't know if that storm that come through and they had the delay threw them all off. I don't know. Lenore Sellers, who did I have to win the SEC championship this year?
You did.
Who did I have to win the Heisman?
Lenore's. That's not happening.
He let me down last week, and I felt so bad. But
here's my thing. Oh, go ahead. I'll finish. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to say, I'm still taking Pavia.
So, South Carolina played Virginia Tech at a neutral site, right? Beat them 24-11. It was not a pretty game. Lenoris did look good, but he looked better than his whole team, where, you know, he had a lot better ball placement. That was one thing I didn't like about him last year. He made good decisions. He knew when to run. He did look good. Vanderbilt went to Vautech and beat them 44-20.
Second
and
half,
ran away with it.
Second half, they put up 300 yards in offense. It's like Virginia Tech's defense just laid down and just gave up. I don't know if people.
It was a
hurt.
game going into that. It was 21-20 at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah,
or 19.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if they had injuries hit Virginia Tech or if they was just gassed out or what happened. But I don't take anything away from Diego Pavia. Look, I know he's an athlete. I know he's a playmaker. I know he can do what he needs to do. And I know that this Vanderbilt team that we've grew up watching is not the same team anymore. They're different. And nobody's expecting them to sneak up on them anymore. I'm not – I've got South Carolina winning this game, guys. I think Lenore Sellers is going to say enough, and it's time. Let me show y'all what I was last year, and this is how I'm going to do it right here at home with the first
Don't
SEC
show us what
win.
you were last year. Don't show us what he was last year.
We can't get a consistent game.
Better.
Look,
Yeah.
Beamer, I don't know what it is. Beamer's going to drop a game.
You can't get consistent games from Pavia. He was up and down last year too.
That's last year, but this
He
year
lost
he's balling.
6 games. He lost 6 games last year.
That's the first time they've ever won 6 games.
I'm talking about this year, though. I'm talking right now. Blake Shapen wasn't great last year. He's doing great right now. I'm talking about right now, consistently. You don't go from beating Virginia Tech at South Carolina, then the next week barely getting out. Who did they play last week? They played South Carolina State. Don't get me wrong, second half looked a lot better, but the first half, man, that was terrible.
Pavia's got 4 more completions than him, and he's got 3 more touchdowns, but he's got an interception. Like, he's not putting up numbers compared to Sellers.
And 131 more yards.
And
on 4 completions.
Do you not
more yards in completions?
Do you not like Pavia? Tell me that.
Tell me you.
No. I like Pavia. Look,
that's
not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I like Pavia. But to say that Lenore Sellers has not been consistent is kind of contradicting because Diego Pavia has shown, and I get what you're saying, Cameron, that he has been good the first 2 games. I will give you that. Pavia does look a little bit more sound, a little bit more mature than last year. But I'm just saying, like, we've seen this same thing from Pavia before. And I just don't know. Are we really at the point where we're ready to start putting Vanderbilt winning SEC games on the road? Are we that confident in them now?
They did it last year.
I know. But he also
beat Auburn.
Look, they beat Alabama but lost to a Georgia State. They beat Auburn but lost to a Missouri.
Listen,
Like, that's crazy.
You're right.
Shane Beamer,
last year.
Every year, Shane Beamer is going to lose. He's going to drop 1 game. He's going to. LSU last year. I mean, he should have won that game. Just like this, he should win this.
Yeah.
But you can't ever get
the officials. The officials
should. But I'm telling you, you get a motivated, driven Diego Pavia coming in there saying this is the game I want. He's gonna have that whole team fired up, ready to play.
What's their tight end?
Maybe.
What's the tight end that followed Pavia?
I told you who I'd have wanted to win at the beginning of the season. My predictions was South Carolina all the way through. But right now, at this point, from what Sellers showed me last week, I mean, he had 128 yards last week, 1 passing touchdown, 11 for 19 against South Carolina State. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come
All
on
right, let
now.
me ask you this, Cameron. If Vanderbilt was playing Georgia right now, who only beat Austin Peay 28-6 last week, you taking Vanderbilt over Georgia?
No.
Georgia's
Okay,
different than South Carolina.
South Carolina's
Georgia's
not
How?
Georgia, though.
The defense.
the defense, 1,000%.
All right. Do you think Vanderbilt's
Look,
defense?
Eli,
Do you think Vanderbilt's defense is good enough to shut down Lenore Sellers for 4 quarters?
I don't know.
Not shut him down, but Pavia can score enough to stay ahead of him.
What about Nick Harbor, who's an absolute pure unit out there on the
What
outside?
has he
I
done?
agree.
He's got
3
80
receptions.
yards.
He's got 3 receptions for 100 yards,
99
3 catches, 99 yards.
Yeah, they're all deep balls.
Do you think
They're all
Vanderbilt's
deep
offensive
balls.
line?
He's a track star.
Do you
Why
think
is he not-
Vanderbilt's
why is he-
offensive line is good enough to stop Dylan Stewart 4 quarters?
Why?
I will say he is the top player in the SEC right now. But
Let me say
I'm
this.
telling you,
Why do you have a track star who's 6'5", 6'4", whatever he is, has a above 35-inch vertical that can beat cornerbacks one-on-one matchup? He's not getting double teamed. Why does he not have more receptions, more touchdowns through 2 games against South Carolina State and against a Virginia Tech that Vanderbilt steamrolled? Like, Nick Harbor's good, but he's not gonna be the deciding factor.
So both of y'all are taking Vanderbilt. Y'all are taking Vanderbilt in this game.
I don't know.
You make your prediction. You make your prediction.
No, this is like, you know how you always say this is one I'm not touching? This is the one that I can't touch because you can get 2 different sides of the spectrum here. You can get
I'm not asking you to bet on it. I'm asking
South
you to give me a
Carolina
prediction.
team like last week. If South Carolina plays like they did last week, he is running through them. They couldn't stop a wet noodle last week. But if Lenore Sellers shows up, Fajon's playing ball, the defense is there. Like you said, the edge rusher, what's his name?
Dylan Stewart.
Dylan Stewart shows up. No, obviously he's going to be contained. He's not going to get outside the pocket. But you just don't ever know. Until we see that consistency, I can't touch this game because this is the game Pavia said, I want this one the most.
All right. Are you taking Vanderbilt in this game? You're taking Vanderbilt? No, say it. You say it.
Say it with your chest.
I'm taking South Carolina, and I'm taking South Carolina to cover. I like South Carolina by more than 3 points. All right? I'll say they'll win it by more than 3. It might be 4, but they're going to win it by more than 3.
I'm taking Vanderbilt.
All right. You're taking Vanderbilt. Kyle.
Vanderbilt. Look at this spectrum right here.
Side with your boyfriend.
You see that blue?
Side with your boyfriend. Side with your boyfriend.
Look,
you see that blue? That's Vandy, baby.
I'm not worried about that.
Upset
Get
game,
that corner out of my face.
If there's any upset game I want to see, it's this one because I have not been bought in on South Carolina being this dark horse, like the number 1 team. I've not. Y'all know I've not been with them this whole time. But it's hard for me to say that South Carolina's going to lose to Vanderbilt.
Right.
I gotta go with South Carolina. I think it's close. But
I'm upset, guy.
I agree with you, Cam. I agree with you, Cam. If Diego Pavia is on his game and he has got that mentality, like I'm not losing, and they can somehow figure out how to shock Lenore Sellers a little bit, get him rattled, because they can easily get to Diego Pavia, but it don't bother him. If they can get to Lenore Sellers and get him bothered, I can see this upset over any other one we've talked about.
Do you know what the over-under is? I mean, the spread is?
3.5 points.
3.5. That means it's going to be a close game. Vegas knows.
That's what I'm saying. Out of any other game we've talked about being a potential upset, I can see this one being an upset more than any other one. But Tennessee? I got to go with South Carolina. I think South Carolina wins it.
South Carolina's win this game, and it's going to be by more than 3
keep in
points,
mind,
okay?
Keep in mind, I want to see this upset so bad.
Yes, sir. I'm taking
Diego Pavia.
I am the upset king right here, baby. That's what I go for. Give me the underdog.
Do you believe this upset more than you did Arizona State and Mississippi State?
No, I knew Mississippi State finna pound on.
Yeah, I had zero doubt.
I was going to say, because I'm going to ride with you because you called that one and I was against it.
No, I'm not sure. I would not be surprised if South Carolina don't drum roll them for even talking crap like they just come up there and win. But
yeah, Yeah.
It's hard. Look, I'm a Shane Beamer guy. I love Shane Beamer. But the dude is going to drop a game every year. And I feel like this is going to be the one because Pavia. I'm a hater. I chose him to win the freaking SEC. What are you talking about?
You're being a hater right now. You're being a hater right now.
I beat Lenore Sellers and South Carolina to win the SEC championship. How am I hating?
Yeah, you're crazy. You know what game he's going to drop? I'll go ahead and tell
Alabama.
You. It's going to be Alabama. Roll.
They are out for some revenge.
No. South Carolina's supposed to steamroll them boys. Quit playing. Stop
Bet your life on it. Bet your house on it.
No. All right, I have South Carolina. Kyle's got South Carolina. Cameron's got Vanderbilt. Guys, y'all let us know in the comments who y'all have in each of these matchups. We're curious to see. And if you listen to this podcast, you better start rolling with our parlays if y'all want to make some money. We're trying to get y'all some Christmas money saved up for your kids now. Come on.
Guarantee we won't hit another one the rest of the year.
Maybe not.
Guarantee.
We'll see.
Guarantee.
We're doing all right now. I think. What's the updated score to that game?
I don't know. Let's look.
24-17 halftime. All right. So Wake Forest has +7 on that game. So we're good for right now. Right? So we got a 14-point swing. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Kyle, thank you for hopping on. What's up, Kenner? What up, Kenner?
Say it again.
Kenner. All right, guys.
24-17.
It's been another episode of The Common Fan. Thank y'all so much. We will see y'all next time.
You've been listening to The Common Fan. See y'all next time. Same tailgate.